Well, good morning and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now I've had a bit of a change around and I've moved all the Draculas in here. And you can see some there, they're hanging from the light fittings and some hanging over the windows, and that window is facing north, so they're definitely not getting too much light there. But I've been arranging things, moving things round, and we'll see where we go from here. And today I really want to talk about Draculas. Now you probably all know that they come from the cloud forests of Central to South America, and they're classed, or they're generally classed as a cool grower, but that all depends on whereabouts in the cloud forests they come from. They are generally classed as cool growers, but that all depends on how high they grow in the misty canopies of the forest. So you should search the web really, if you're keeping Draculas, to find out if your plant is warm to mediate or definitely cool growing. And it goes without saying that the higher they grow in the misty forests, the cooler they'll be. When they get sort of halfway up, they'll be intermediate, and if they're pretty low down in the regions, then they'll be warm growers. So it's best to check that you're giving your Draculas conditions they like. So we'll see what medium they generally use. Well, it's commonly thought that these are wet growers, but keeping them wet will cut off the air to the roots, and it'll also kill the roots. A medium which keeps the media damp is the one that's needed. Now sphagnum moss plus large perlite, which is often known as sponge rock in the USA because it's much bigger than the perlite we can get, is ideal. But as I said before, sponge rock is not available in the UK, and the perlite we get is a little bit too small to keep the medium just damp. So I would recommend using sphagnum plus bark, or use small pieces of polystyrene. That'll be ideal, and the colour of the polystyrene will be of no consequence. As regards watering to keep them damp, Draculas hate salts, so a high TDS is a no-no. When you think about it, how much feed these plants get in the wild, it's virtually none. So use RO or distilled water, and your tap water, if it's no higher than say 25-30 parts per million, that will be okay. So you need to do nothing to the water like of adding fertiliser, so your tap water will be fine. And when I feed, the idea is to feed no higher than 40 parts per million, and then that's all they will need. And you can really do that every watering, but I will do it every, if you water every month, say every week for a month, just do it twice at 40 parts per million, and that will be ideal. The other time, just flush it through. Now as regards temperature, well, you can work this out for yourselves once you have discovered how high in the canopy they grow. I would say that they shouldn't be below 12 and could be as high as the 80s, the low 80s. So your plant should fit into these temperature differences. Humidity, they love humidity, and the higher the better. But they won't come to any harm providing it doesn't drop below 50%. Now these plants like a lower light than most orchids and shouldn't receive any sunshine, although if the sunshine is heavily filtered, that should be okay. Too much light will show brown leaf tips or yellow markings on the leaves, and generally if the leaves are too dark they are not getting enough light, and this could prevent them from blooming. I think that's what's happening to mine. And this is one of the reasons I have now given mine a little bit more light than they have had since the start of the darker days. So I think that's about all I can tell you about them. So we'll just have a look to see what mine look like. On this side where the Mars Hydro light is, over here, they may be getting a little bit too much light, but we'll see how they go from there. It's about 3 feet away from the hydro lights, and although they give a lot of light out, I don't think it'll be as strong when these plants receive it. So just let's have a look. We'll have a look at these over here first. And all my plants are either Wardii or Bella. And they're all in sphagnum moss. This is a Wardii. You see that's got a few leaf tips there, so that's why I've given them a little bit more light. Not showing any spikes. This is another Wardii. One little spike coming out there. And that's about it. The same for that one, I think. But showing plenty of growth, as you can see it coming up there. All of them are showing growth. And that's what we need to make nice mature plants. This one I don't think is putting up any new growth. But oh yeah, it is down at the bottom. As you can see, I've hung these up in a roundabout way, hooked onto the other plants at the top. But they're all looking not too bad. 1 or 2 brown tips on them, but that's not much. That's what we all get. But there's only one putting out new spikes, and we'll have a look at that one. If I can get it. Yep, here we are. And we'll have a look how many spikes this one's got. You can see a few there. Quite a few there coming out. And quite a lot there. Whoops. So it's coming out on 3 sides and none on the other sides. But plenty and plenty of spikes on this one. So I'm hoping I can get these to bloom, and it will look a bit of a picture, wouldn't it? It'll look lovely. Well, as you can see, I've got a fan there that's going most of the day. I've switched it off for the filming purposes. But these Draculas are getting more air movement than they've had before, so I hope that does them good as well. Anyhow, I'll keep you up to date on what these are doing, and hopefully before long we'll be able to see some blooms. So thanks very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.